Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 18th of May. And no change really with that 7,000's been tested again as support, and it appears to be holding well. It would be confirmed by making a new high, well, certainly above these current highs here, or at least another stronger move to the upside, which is probably likely as the US markets have been positive as expected overnight. So in a nutshell, if this is all correct, then we'll see wave 3 begin, and wave 4 and wave 5, of course. Wave 3 could pretty much start over here. But as I keep mentioning, that 7,200 is the old COVID high, so we can expect some skewed wave counts and so on in this space. But all that said, stay long while the 7,000 is the support. So not a lot to add to that on the hourly chart here, unless you want to build in long again. You can do that again, but you'll still just need to leave the stop under the 7,000 there. I can move these across to the old highs here. So I'm not too sure how far this will go up. We'll just count the waves as we go. That's what we normally do. But wave 3 tends to come in around these highs. Could be earlier, later, above, but either way, we'll see that play out. They'll probably need to come across here further. But that's the pathway for that, and we could also pretty much put a neat little trend line in here as well for that. But that's where we are. So yeah, just keep the stop under the 7,000 at this point. Let's have a look around the block, starting with ANZ. It didn't really push up yesterday when CommBank pushed up, but it's probably created a little 5 waves up there and needs to pull back here again. So that was the kind of thing we've been waiting for in a way. So you could do just go along above that bar there. That would be fine. That would be the robo sort of method entry there. Yeah, just keep the stop out of the way under this bar here for that. Okay, CBA did push up higher, I think. So yeah, it climbed a little bit higher. So as mentioned before, the number 98 here, 8, is a profit-taking number, so we're seeing that profit-taking occur there, but we should see once that's completed, and that may be completed already with an A and a B and a C to here and up for 1 here, and then pushing up from there. So if if you wanted a day trade, so to speak, if you got nothing to do, then you could buy new highs at that point there. Will it get sucked up to 100? Probably. And that would make a new high for CBA, wouldn't it? I'll just double check on that. It's probably new highs already. Yeah, okay. So, because I know we never quite made it to 100 before over here for that. So we're certainly doing that now, which is good. Okay, let's move on to the resources. So iron ore is up 5%, but we kind of expected that because we were looking at this move down through here as an impulse wave. So I haven't pulled it apart, but I can just see on the daily chart 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll pull back up 60-odd%. So we don't need these here now. So we're coming back up in this B wave here. So we can look at that. This is not going to affect much. We're just seeing US BHP dance around the 80 and the local BHP around the 50. It might give other stocks that are not quite in tune. So FMG could push up and make a new high. But yeah, so let's just clean this up a little bit, shall we? So we're looking for a 3-wave rally up to that point. And then probably down at that stage there, we'll see. Tomorrow we'll have a look at that, this in a bit more detail. Let's just go run through the metals as such. So what's the next one down here? Gold. Well, gold's doing everything that we wanted it to do and more with that nice little push up there. I'll pull that apart with all of that. I better have a quick look now. So it looks like 1, 2, and 3, 4. So it's probably wave 3 up there, wave 4 and wave 5. So we've probably got a little bit more, but I'll look at that a bit closer on the gold chart. But just to let you know, obviously that it's doing all the right things. Yeah, that will be 5 waves pretty much coming into play here somewhere. We'll look for a wave 4 and a wave 5 there. So if you're looking for taking profit, if you're a short-term trader, then it'll be on that wave 5 there. And you know, I mean, if that's the extension's in wave 3 here, so that means that would make that the 5th wave quite small. But I'll pull that apart a bit further in the next in the gold video, and then we can expect the market to pull back to this wave 4. Now that may not be the case. It could just continue higher as well. So it just depends on how you're playing the game. I wanted to leave the stop out of the way over here for all of this, so I'll continue to do that. But there's no problem, even if you're just trend trading and you want to work the trade a little bit, well then it's not going to hurt to take off a chunk there, and then we'll put that chunk back over here if you wanted to. So we'll do that. I want to have a look at copper. So I think wave 4 is not going to pull back where I want it to now, because it's traveling a little bit high here now, so it's probably in. So we'll see that push up. I also just been hassled about nicely though, about having a look at this copper here. So the HG copper, so the futures market here. So all I can say to you here, folks, is that we will see this will be 1 and 2 here, this little wave in here, 1 and 2, and then this will all be the 3rd wave to here, so that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and this will be the 4th wave we've been working with. It may get a little bit uglier, but it'll push up into 5 there. So at the 5,000 on this platform, CFD platform. So anyway, we'll hit trading level 5, and we're going to see a correction there. So you can expect to spend some time in that space there. Now, it may go above, I'm not quite sure, but in one way or another we should see a decent correction, because 5 is the second strongest number in the market, and it will definitely give us something here for this. So that's that, and yeah, so this can push up now, so that's good for the BHPs. I should really just check that there, but it looks like we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the C wave here, unless we're going to go to 61.8% and then have it's too much. No, that's about right, I think. So that will be positive for stocks. I just want to have a look at the Australian dollar as well. No real sort of change here. The move up here doesn't look impulsive. Here looks like a little ABC at this stage, so not looking good for the bullish count, but it doesn't bother us too much. We will just focus on being long on top of 78 with a classic trading levels pattern above the 50-60% retracement level here, because this looks like a bit of a sort of head and shoulders here now, doesn't it, with this? So we just need to be mindful we don't get trapped in that. Just the 4-hour chart. I mean, we got 5 waves up there. It's sort of okay-ish, but I'm not really seeing a nice impulse wave here. It looks like an A and a B and a C wave to here. So it can be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I'll grant you that. I'll need to pull that apart, but just check on our site for our Australian dollar. Gets updated every day with the charts, but otherwise look for a long trade on 78 for that. And that said, we can look, if I missed out, the CRUDE, yeah. It's sort of sitting on top of the 65 now, so I'm thinking that we should bring wave 4 over here. And just to point out here, I think the 7,200 area, the 7,000 is where we're heading with this, just as a bit of a guess, but that guess comes from that's the length of wave 1 here. So if wave 3 has got the extension in it, then wave 4 to 5 here can be around that area there, and then we'll see another correction here. So in a way, we've got the classic trading levels pattern where we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the ABC correction occurring there. And in simple terms, it looks a bit like that. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and yada yada yada, as you know, and looking back over here for that. So we'll need to be a bit mindful over this side if you're trading any of the stocks to the upside here. So when it reaches 7,000, you probably be good to take a bit of profit on the on your oil stocks. Okay, US BHP to start with here was up 1.5%. I think it's kind of interesting, you know, I mean, I've done it conservatively and counted this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and I'm happy with that count. So I was thinking, you know, 5 waves up for wave 1 and pull back for wave 2. But I'm not really getting 5 waves down here. I can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then this is wave 3 coming down to here. I don't have 4 and 5 here so far, so I just have 3 waves. I won't do anything today with this, but I'll keep a little bit of an eye on it. I wouldn't be that interested really until I've got a bit more information here. I mean, we can still have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. It just won't be wave 2. It can be a wave 4, and that case because we don't have a clean 5 wave structure to the downside. But certainly if it gets, well, let's just start here. We normally use the top one here. We can come down to the second high here. That's where we would go long. If we get a nice classic trading levels pattern sitting in here, well, then we'll go long from that point there. I just don't want to rush into it just yet with this. But yeah, I think the takeaway here, unless it drops from here, then that would be a different story. Then we'll have the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here and 5 here. So I'll just give it a bit of time. But the more it pushes up here and pushes past that gap top there and that, then we could look at this being 3 waves, and then we know this is corrective, and then we'll reconsider what we've got here. But this is the best fit at this stage. I understand it can be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and all that sort of stuff, and you know that could be the end of it here, and we're moving up. But we'll catch it up here a little bit higher. I think a safe trade is better than a sort of you know, I just don't want to be in that what they call it FUD these days, fear and uncertainty and doubt and all that stuff. So we can call this at this point FUD. If it breaks up here, we can call that FOMO. Okay, so just go to local BHP now that we've got an eyeballed that a bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is wave 5 here. I just want to gather more information. We're not going anywhere here. This is 5 is the second strongest number. It's a magnet, and we just need to we just want to just give it some time here. That's all. I'll just clear these out here. It could push up higher, I understand that, but I don't want to lead anybody the wrong way. We just want to do some research and gather some evidence here for all of this. So we'll just, I mean, it just looks too small for wave 5, so I'll just put that out the way there. But once again, we can start our process now because we got the first high above the level, so we can go long above that. All we need to look for now is a better setup. You know, we need to look for some sort of ABC pattern or something. You know, then we can drop it down here, and then we can start drilling in at that point. You know, but this could certainly be wave 1 here. We could have a top in as well. I just don't know. I just need to gather some evidence. So that brings us down to Fortescue. So with Fortescue here, I was considering this being wave 4 here. We're not in this trade at the moment. So I will remove these here. That it goes into that stretch mode. That's no good. So I'm thinking here, just copy that. Probably a bit small, but we'll just use these for the time being. Oh, that's the other way it could look too, isn't it? Okay, I'll look at it in both ways, but this move from here, this move down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a correction, and then we can call this 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5 here for that. This wave 4 is starting to overlap wave 1 here, so that's no good. But if I looked at this as an ABC, we still need another move down. So I'll just see how it travels here, and if that's not the case, then what I'll need to do is I'll need to copy that and put that down here for wave A here, and then we'll have to count it down as wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, and that would be a complicated 2 and a simple wave 4 at that point. So if that's the case and it's going to push up, I'll have to, because if it pushes up through here, then we'd have to look at this as 5 waves down, and in that case then we'd have to look at this as a B wave over here, coming back to the 50-60%, which we can look at quickly. I won't go into too much more detail here, but just to point that out, because a trap for young players. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if it comes down and we get one more, but it's hard to see that with iron ore pushed up. I know that iron ore is going to come back down again, but it's still got a little bit further to push up. So anyway, we'll get to the bottom of this. It will resolve in one way or another. But if it's an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, then that's going to be fantastic, because then we can just buy on the low here, because we'll be able to manage the risk if it is just a wave 4 bounce. What I mean by that is that I won't go. Oh no, it's okay. But we'll look to buy here if that is the case indeed. But we'll see. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Even if it is a B wave, then we still would have come down for the C wave after that as well. So we'll have to pick it up down here. So yeah. Anyway, we're just talking about timing here. And Rio. So once again with Rio, it's possible that we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the top of the market there, and that's the end of it. We're going to crash from here. We will go long in two ways. We'll go long if we get support on the 130, which is the top of minor group 1 from the 100. So we need that as support, because this could be counted up here as 5 waves. And secondly, we'll just see, obviously it's, it's the stochastics, which is quite good with Elliott wave. It picks it quite nice, picks the tops quite nicely with Elliott. So, it's not in a buying position just here. I mean, if this was way down here, then we could consider that, but it's not the case. So it's just really, at this stage, it's just, all of this is just reflecting the price. So this low here, that high, this low here, coming back up here, it trips. When it trips out like that and the market still goes up, then you have to take the stochastics to the next degree of, so you could take it to a 2-day or 3-day or weekly or something like that, so when it starts tripping like that, it normally does that when it's making new highs. So yeah, but anyway, it's not telling us anything at this point. it's not useful much. So it's just a reflection of the price. So it's not out of sync with the price. So anyway, we just got to see what this is. It's still a little bit early days. So far, this move down here will be in 3 waves like the other market. We'll see if it turns into 5 waves, or we get a flat correction here and then we go up again, which would be nice. So I don't know if this wave 5 tops in here. Technically, yes, it can be. There's not a problem with that. But even this wave 4 is not looking that good. So this could be up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1. And, we could be climbing much higher here. We know iron ore's, creeping up in price. So, yeah. Alrighty. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. Oh, we've just been looking at Newcrest a little bit as well. So that's nice. We've seen Newcrest pop up a little bit there. So that makes that corrective as expected. So we'll just see that continue up here now. So I think that's good. I think we're on a trend, but I still don't know which way to count it in terms of 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5, and then going up that way for that. Or we look at this as wave 1 here, and well, I'll just copy that. Put wave 1 there. We don't need the C wave there now, so we can get rid of that. So that's a positive. So we could look at this here as either one of these and either one of these. It would probably be better to do that, because that pulled back down about a good 50%, didn't it? Rather than but still we hit the number 8, and that's what it does. Anyway, we'll just keep playing this out. We'll keep building into this. But yeah, so if you wanted to add to this position, then, or get a position, this would be the place to do it, because we need to get above the 30. So if you've got a couple of positions below the 30, our aim is to get the 30 as support. Will that happen? I don't know, but that's what we're gunning for. And if that's the case, well, then we'll be building in on top of the 30 as well. Okay, cheers. Thanks for tuning in.